So what they don't tell you when you go to these huge events is how wrecked your vehicle's gonna get. So after being stuck in the sand for 4 out of the 5 days of the festival, my box truck was finally free, sitting ready for me to drive on out of the event. Not gonna lie, it was one of those white knuckle drives as I was making my exit, and unfortunately my camera did cut off during the process, so I don't have any of that, but eventually I was back on smooth rural road. But besides the earthquake of a road, I mean, this was like heavy earthquake scenario road getting out of gutted. Not only were things kind of shaken up in the box truck, though I'm happy to say none of my cabinets have remotely shifted or moved. So even though I bought over-the-counter cabinets, they have not moved. So pat on my own back for getting them up there nice and hardcore. But there was sand everywhere. It was just impossible. Every single day I was like sweeping the floor, pouring sand out of my shoes, and there was still sand anywhere. So I knew I needed to stop at Hotel Walmart and get things back in order. The box where I store my generator was basically a sandbox. Like, it was full of so much sand, it took forever to scoop out. So I've basically decided when I get the money, I am going to replace this box with a sealed box. Originally, my goal was to be able to run the generator inside of the box, but that hasn't worked out anyway. So basically now I just have a vented box that's letting debris in. And if I'm going to be on back roads more in the future, that's not a good thing. Indoors, after I got everything up out off the floor and out the way, it was time for more sweeping. So in a perfect world, I would have been able to use the cab as a sort of mudroom and control the sand there, but let's just say, despite my best efforts, didn't work out. So with that done, it was time to attack things like washing the dishes, putting things away, and a general reorganization of a space that had gotten away from me. I debated on if I wanted to go to the rec center and pay for a shower, but I ultimately decided to set up my indoor ever shower instead. And before we got fully back on the road, the truck needed a bath as well. I have a hard time sometimes finding basically a place big enough for my truck. It's not the biggest truck in the world, but it is a little bit larger than most self-car wash places, and last time I had to go to a place where they actually wash the truck for you. But luckily I found in places where there's farmland and farm equipment and people tend to have bigger vehicles and RVs, places where my truck can actually fit in the self-car wash are a little bit more prevalent. After getting some gas, it was time to be on the road again, off to the next adventure. So while it's great to just get out there and have fun out in the middle of BLM land and other places where it's just kind of honestly dirty, just know that no matter how much you keep up with your housekeeping, like there was a point where just fighting the sand was just endless. So you probably will have to schedule yourself just a house cleaning day or days, depending on what you need to do in your rig. In my case, one of the things I didn't film but also did was I decided not to be in the rush to the laundromat because so many of us were leaving gutted, and I ended up doing a small load of laundry in my rig with my washing machine. Yay! I decided it was easier just to use the water and then just go buy some more water. Just a small load, and then later on I went to the laundry and I washed a large load, but I basically washed the critical things like some clothes I wanted to get done and some like linen and stuff that had, just been exposed to the sand, and got that a little bit more reset. And then further down the road, I had a nice good laundromat day. So if you don't have a home base, because a lot of people will do this stuff when they get back to their home base, just expect to have to stop on the road and take care of these little things. So I thought it'd be a fun video just to show you that. Okay, as always, I'm going to shout out a thank you for my supporters on Patreon and YouTube memberships. You guys are awesome and amazing, and I'm just going to wrap this video up right there.